And on behalf of the Simpson family and the Milward Simpson Selection Committee, we would like to welcome you to the 50th event of the awards presentation. And it all started almost 50 years ago, right next door in this building here. And Milward and his wife Lorna were part of it. And I was blessed to be the first male one chosen for that Simpson Award. It's been quite an honor having to met them and then come up through the ranks with Pete, Al, and the rest of the crew. But we sure appreciate the long distance you guys have traveled to come here and the sacrifices you've made, and we thank you for that.
This is a wonderful occasion because it represents leadership, excellence, strength, and resolve. All of you young cousins, you have that advantage. You have already succeeded in many ways. Now you will have a chance to succeed at leadership, and boy, do we need it. Wherever you go, you have basic roots, strengths that come from being a team sport athlete and an individual excellent athlete. Those are 2 words. Anyhow, I'm so proud, we all are. It meant a great deal to Dad when he was alive that this award had been offered. It meant a great deal to Brother Al, who all of us miss like fire. He would be here in a minute. He was an athlete as well. He played football at the university, lettered in football, lettered in basketball. And my dad, he played opposite J.D. Kimball, who was an All-American tackle at Houston in the Houston game. And Al made player of the game. And that showed that big home. And he was a good athlete, a great guy. He and I grew up together, and we did wrestle. Sometimes we kind of fought, and when we fought, Dad thought the best way to do this is both boxing gloves and let him have at it. So he did. One day we were really angry with each other, and we started pummeling. We had to put the boxing gloves on first. We started pummeling each other. I had to reach, so I blooded his nose, and he carved up my arm. Strong. Every time he hit me, I tried to protect myself. So here we were bleeding, both of us, and we decided we're not too big to do this. We're big enough to really hurt each other. So to hell with it. And we threw away the boxing glove. We never fought again. We argued, but we never fought. Anyhow, we're so proud to have you here about your parents and your coaches. Coaches meant everything for us, and my nephew here, Colin, who also was a terrific athlete at Colorado, and he'll, I'm sure, talk about his dad. But I want to talk for just 1 second about Dad. You can read about him in the leaflet there. He was a terrific 3-sport athlete, but he also was a leader, and his leadership was powerful over a period of years. Both governor and United States senator from this state. He was a personality, a giant personality, and a great guy. But with all of the things that he did, all of the accomplishments he made, later in life, when he was stove up, crippled, when he had arthritis and Parkinson's disease, and was in his early 90s, he would occasionally dream while he was sleeping. He never dreamed about the kings and the corporate leaders and the politicians he knew. He dreamed he'd be a runner, playing ball, doing things in athletics. And that is an inspiration that this award is for. Your leadership, your strengths, your memories, and your ability to succeed wherever you go. Colin, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Pete will be 95, July 30th? 31st. And Dad, they're 11 months apart, and we're the closest brothers that you would ever meet. And we were always taught, or they taught us, that they were taught from a very young age, you brothers right here, that you always take care of your brother, right? You always, it doesn't matter what is happening in your life, this is your brother. This is the most important relationship you may have in your lifetime, and they lived it. They were the epitome of great brothers to each other, and models for our two sons and sons and daughters of the state of Wyoming. But Pete's words are exactly right about leadership and inspiration. And Granddad he loved competition. And you all love competition, or you wouldn't be where you are today. Competition is part of life, and I love competition. Still, as a lawyer, I compete every day, and it can give you great satisfaction to do that. But Granddad loved competition, loved sports. He came to everything we ever did, and I think he loved sports so much that he played so much football without a helmet. Here, Pete, let me get you a chair.
I think I'll take them.
Here, get your chair.
Just interrupt my speech.
This thing weighs about 80 pounds. 90 pounds?
So you always have to interrupt for an EMT.
But this is a picture of Granddad right here in the middle. And here, Pete, I'll let you out of it. But this was Cody High School in 1916. So he was a senior. He was actually 18 years old. But he was oftentimes the captain of the teams he was on, and then he went to the university. But there are many other great photographs of Granddad competing, and he loved baseball. He played baseball into his 40s here in Cody until finally my grandmother just said, you need to just stop playing baseball. But, so and Pete said he would dream of it. I was later, he lived to be 95, and around 90, I was having dinner with him one night. He had Parkinson's. He developed Parkinson's when he was 64 years old. And he lived another 31 years with it. And at that time, nobody really knew how to treat it. There was L-DOPA. My grandmother became an expert on medicating. So I would feed him because he shook, and he said, what's the worst thing about Parkinson's? And he'd say, well, I spill more than I drink. So he turned to me and he said, do you have any tennis shoes? I said, I do. What do you need them for? He said, I have a fight tonight. I said, you do? At where? He said, at the auditorium, which is right here. I said, well, who are you fighting? And he said, Ernie Gopper. And Ernie Gopper was one of his great nemesis, attorney in Cody. And so, even then he was ready to rumble at 90. But he was an incredible man. And the people who started this award to honor his competitive spirit, his leadership abilities, were incredible and continue to be to this day. And thank you so much for what you do to continue to honor that. Here we are 50 years later. Rod Prego, first winner, Janelle Andre, wonderful track athlete, volleyball from Riverton. And it's an incredible legacy that you all will continue. And just remember that You're honoring somebody who loved the sports that he played, loved every sport that he played, and loved the competition of life. And he was a wonderful, incredible man who never complained about anything. Even living 30 years with that. He had a hip replacement in 1963. I remember seeing, as a little kid. So he had all of these physical ailments, but he never complained, and he was always right there trying to do more, move more, do exercises, and live his life. So I think that's the great message, is live your life to the fullest and use all of your talents, and we honor you here today. So thank you very much for being here. And remember, if you want to go to the museum or the Heart Mountain Interpretive Center, we will get you in there free. Just let us know if you haven't already. I'm sure Janelle's taking care of it. She's on the ball. But so thank you very much. Turn it back over to you, Rob.
So you all received a plaque, and that's your personal plaque. And then when we announce the winner, and you're all considered, Simpson Award winners, this bigger one is to go in your school, and then the smaller one that you received is your personal one that you can keep and put in your home. So for the ladies, Lauren Olson. For the young men, Jace Burton.